What up, fellow agents? PurePrime here. Today I'm gonna show you my conflict PvP build. And just like the title reads, over 400k normalized armor, guys. I'm not playing you, I'm not kidding with you. 400k normalized armor. And this is so fun to play with. Are you ready? Let's go. We will start this video with a little bit of conflict play, just one match. It's over in a second, believe me, trust me. But if you just here for the build and don't want to see some proof of the build, just go to the descriptions and I will leave the timestamps there. Enjoy! Yeah, in the middle. Two people, let's get them. Getting flanked, got one. Nice team shoot. Another one is gone down as well. Let's go. See if they come over the fence. No. Let's see. Wait. Stay. No, they're coming over here. Yeah, go on. I got the boost. They're not around here. Damage. I'm on the other side. Yeah, small flip. They're jumping over. I got one. Got the other one. Goodbye, let's go. Oh man, holy shit. I was blinded and I took a couple of them down. No, Oh. This build, man. Unbelievable. And there you go, guys. The build. I'm rocking the specialization, the sharpshooter, and mainly because, yeah, it gives me a little bit better handling for the EB. The headshot damage is nice for the extra ammo that you get maybe once or twice in a game, but yeah, I'm doing it for the handling. And then I chose for assault rifle damage, some SMG damage, and the marksman rifle damage. Then you have this isn't necessary, but this is reduce the chance that you are critically hit in conflict by 20%. So that's nice. But let's head over to the build, guys. Look at that. Almost 404k armor on a 311-7 build. I got 35k health and 1232 skill power. Like you see, I'm rocking the Eagle Bearer, the Vector, and the Eagle Bearer hits for 12.6k normalized. So it isn't that high, but I chose armor above weapon damage. I will explain why in a second with my mask and my backpack, but I'm hitting hard enough. And then for my secondary, I went for the tactical Vector, 5.5k damage, an RPM of 1600. Yeah, you heard me right. Because I rolled measured on there, Allegro is already on there, and I've got protected reload. And protected reload is very nice. When I'm reloading with my Eagle Bearer, I get a little over 40k armor just to reload. So that's a little protection, and that's needed sometimes. And let's go over to the mods. I have the hollow sight for 10% accuracy. Then I have plus 20 rounds and a negative 10% reload speed, and then 10% critical hit chance with the laser pointer and the Osprey 9 suppressor. And then we're going for the tactical M1911 for my handgun. It has a damage of 16.7k and an RPM of 310. But I'm not using the handgun this much. I got talents, breadbasket, distance, and stop, drop, and roll. And I'm only doing it for the stop, drop, and roll, guys. While equipped, rolling removes burning, bleed, and poisonous effects occur every 60 seconds. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Only thing you have to do is dive away when you have those effects on you. And then I went for the 10% damage to elites, and 20% optimal range, and 15% critical hit chance with the laser pointer and the Osprey 45 suppressor. Yeah, and that's pretty much for my handgun. Like I said, I don't use it that much. So let's get over to the build, guys. For my vest, I'm rocking the GOOO Guard vest with 40.1k armor. I went for a 3-piece GOOO Guard to get that 5% total armor, 20% total hazard protection, and 15% pulse skill power. I went for 2 blues and a red, and like you see, I rolled that 21% total armor on there, and then 15.5k armor, and like I told you, a low weapon damage of 3.5%. Bloodsucker as a talent, and I got a utility mod and 2 blue mods on there, the defensive mods. I have 153 skill power, 230 pulse skill power, and 150 seeker skill power. Then for the defensive, I got 6.5k armor, 2.5% total armor, and 5% health regen. And for the second one, almost 5k armor, a 3% total armor, and 2% protection from elites. That isn't necessary, but this is the highest armor mod that I can put on because we have a lot of blues necessary, of course. Then go over to my backpack. That's a Murakami one with 38.8k armor, and it will give me 8% health just for this one piece. Then I got 2 blues and a red on there, 10% total armor, 12k armor, and a 3.5% weapon damage. And then as a talent, On the Ropes and Hardened. And On the Ropes will give me that 25% extra weapon damage when all my skills are on cooldown. And then I got one defensive mod on there, almost 4k armor, plus 4% total armor and an armor regen of 406. And then go over to the third important piece of my build, and that's my mask. It's a ghillie guard as well, 22.5k armor, a little bit health on there of 5.5k and 20% skill haste. And of course spotter, guys, 20% damage to pulsed enemies. I would love to have another mask, but yeah, I screwed it up a little bit with the health. And then I got that 79 skill power, 355 pulse skill power, and 187 chem launcher skill power. And then we are going for my gloves, and those are Alp Summit with 20.8k armor. It gives me 20% skill haste, an attribute of 11% assault rifle damage, and I rolled compensated on there. Weapon damage is increased by 15%, while your critical hit is below 20% and requires 3 or less reds. And then I went for 116 skill power, 319 chem launcher skill power, and 125 shield skill power. And then for my last piece of the ghillie guard to make my 3-piece complete, go for the ghillie guard knee pads with 24.7k armor, total armor of 11% as an attribute, and I rolled the talent empowered, 10% skill power on there. And then we can add 2 defensive mod slots on there, one of almost 4.5k armor and 2k armor on kill, and a total of 3% total armor. The second one is 5k armor, 1k armor on kill, and a total of 3.5% total armor. So only these knee pads, and will give me a total of 17.5% total armor. That's pretty nice. And then we're going for the last piece, and that's the weakest piece of my build. That's this Wyvern Wear holster from 34k armor. I got 2 yellows on there, 119% skill haste and 652 skill power. I can roll it a little bit higher, but I think it goes to 680. It's capped at 680, this piece. So I have to look for maybe a better one, but I have to see. I'm doing it for the critical hit damage as well, and of course for those 3 yellows, because I need those 3 yellows for my 7 yellows. And then yeah, of course we have that mod on there. Let me scroll down, and I put 120 skill power on there, 203 seeker skill power, and 228 pulse skill power. And like you saw on my build, I pushed the pulse and the chem launcher a bit. So let's start with the scanner pulse, guys. And I buffed it up to 2419. And that gives me the power to set up 160% skill haste, or almost 160% skill haste, and 36.9% effect duration. And that gives me a cooldown of 12.5 seconds and a duration of 13.6 seconds. And why duration? Because I like to have the pulse as long as I can. Because if you got pulsed enemies and then you're on the ropes, you will get that 45%, so to say, weapon damage. And you can buff it down that your duration is 10 and your cooldown is like 7, but it will stay the same. I like a longer session than 10 seconds. So I'm trying to push it and push it. This build isn't ready. I love this build, but it needs a little bit more skill power. And then I can make this build very OP. But yeah, that's pretty much everything about the skills and my build, of course. And then let's go over the stats. Let's see, the weapon stats. 12.5k weapon damage, 10% critical hit chance, 47% critical hit damage, 55% headshot damage, a range of 35, a reload speed of 2.5 seconds, and a stability of 40%. And then for the offensive, just like I said, a little bit weapon damage, so only 7%, and then 20% extra assault rifle damage, 15% SMG, and that marksman rifle damage from, of course, my buffs from my specialization, and then the Eagle Bearer rocks that 29% health damage. And let's have a look at my defense, and it's almost 404k armor. Unnormalized, guys, I still can't believe it. Then I have an armor generation of 20k, a max health of 35k, a health generation of 18.5k, and a hazard protection of 20%. Yeah, the skills I already explained. The total skill haste is 61%. And for the grenade, I went for the just regular concussion grenade. So if you down him and he crawls away, just throw this grenade and you will get that kill instead of the revive from his teammates. But why choose higher armor and lower weapon damage? Because you have spotter and on the ropes. And of course, on this build, compensated. Because spotter on the ropes and compensated, and I don't know why compensated doesn't show, but those percentages doesn't show on your stats. So if we have a look, we have 15% weapon damage from the compensated because we are below 3 reds and we are below 20% critical hit chance. Then we have that 25% extra weapon damage from on the ropes when all our skills are in cooldown. And then we got that 20% extra weapon damage, so to say, because it works a little bit different, but we got that 20% weapon damage to pulsed enemies. So if you do the math, we have 60% extra weapon damage, so to say. If we look at my Eagle Bearer, that's only 12.6k normalized. Let's say we have that 60% extra from 12.6k. Let's say easy 7.4k. I don't know exactly, but it will bring my Eagle Bearer to 20k damage. And then I'm hitting very hard. So that's why I went for a lot more armor instead of those weapon damage. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribers button. And of course the notification bell. PurePrime out.